This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy and other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
Today, the top 6 will become a top 4. It's a do or die for our teams, and they have to dig deep and unleash their full potential because there are no more second chances. Coming to you live from the Riot Games Arena in Berlin, Germany. Hello, and welcome to Day 6 of Game Changers Championship 2024. I'm your host, Victoria, and here with me today, I've got Kukuka and Tom for 2 crucial lower bracket matches. It's another sad day.
I feel like it was so far away.
Elimination days are always a little bit sad, but we got a lot of good things out of it, like a good distant fist bump far away. How are you guys feeling now that we've whittled it down to these final 6 teams?
I'm just glad EMEA survived.
Yeah,
the last time I was here, 2 EMEA teams got eliminated, so I'm glad that I'm on a day where that can't happen.
Yeah, that's the only reason why we hired you today, Tom. I actually got confirmation from our producers that that is the reason. But I think that it means a lot for the teams that we have here playing because, as you said, Victoria, 2 of them will make that top 4. And that is a milestone in their careers and the ones for their orgs as well.
Yeah, in fact, let's talk about how we got here today. Yesterday, we were in the upper bracket with 4 undefeated teams, probably some of the most wild games we've seen so far this tournament. They were fighting to make it to tomorrow's upper final. So first, of course, we had G2 Gozen facing MIBR.
Petra's not going home. That's what I learned today. Like, that was insane. Like, her performance yesterday, I was really nervous after that first map because I was watching how MIBR were playing. Jelly SRN all the way through that series were just in God mode. And then it took, well, I guess a goddess to almost overtake. Like, she was in insane form with highly aggressive plays. Super impressed.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that especially the comparison between the crew game that we saw, yes, they did start off a little bit cold, but yesterday I didn't get that feel. I think that it was very, very close. And Shopify Rebellion 2-0, I think they're just here to win it all.
Shopify looked fantastic, but definitely shout out to Zipto pushing them. It almost became map 3, but this is how things are today. And of course, I have to say, Pacific teams, both of them are in the lower bracket, and I'm a little bit nervous. I see how you felt.
You still have to, okay? You still have to. Okay? Take what you're given.
That's true. They're both still here, and they both still can continue. Now, what's been really interesting so far is that we had the addition and changes of the map pool. So let's talk about that and see how things have shaken up here at Championships and the addition of Pearl. How has that shifted things for you guys?
Do you want to start? Do you want me to take it?
I'd say the loss of Lotus seems to maybe move Pearl a little bit further down. Like, Lotus was a massively popular map for a lot of teams, so that one going missing I think has hurt a few. But I feel like a lot of those teams have opted to almost pick up the Pearl.
We can say almost, well, not quite the same, but I think that Lotus was a before and an after, right? Since the map joined the map pool. I'm surprised that we are not getting more Abyss, right? Because when you think about the incorporation of the 2 new maps with Split and Pearl coming back in, you would think that maybe some teams would rely on like,
Split's the best map, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. Is your favorite? How many
it is
rounds
my favorite.
How many rounds did you cast that day?
We don't talk about that one.
I remember that, but going back to this, some people could argue like maybe with having more tape on Abyss and so many different compositions that we've seen throughout the globe, that some teams would pick up Abyss, but no, actually Split coming back, I think that is normal that some teams are comfortable with it. To me, is the surprise of seeing 3 more times Pearl than Abyss.
Yeah, I think in a weird way, Abyss still hasn't been figured out yet, even though it's been out for a while now. But Pearl being played 3 times, twice by Zipto, of course, and we got to see both of those. In fact, let's talk about today's high-stake matches, because again, it's elimination day. It's very sad, but someone will have to go home. MIBR facing off against ZETA Division, 2 teams that have, I think the audience have fallen in love with them, and I can't blame anyone. I myself have also fallen in love with a lot of these players. And then after that, we're gonna have Zipto facing off against Crew, and both of those teams, I think, I'm not surprised that this is how the way things played out, but I wouldn't have been surprised if they were both still in the upper bracket.
Well, I think For ZETA more so, you're talking about that lower bracket run, because after the first game, I think everybody was pretty terrified for them. But yeah, those upper bracket matches, like I think MIBR have sort of come in as like a team that people expected to be good, but they've kind of outdone it. And I think a lot even expected them to win yesterday, and they very much could have done. I think G2 played a great game. But I'm also then looking at that other side of things and saying, you know what, ZETA have got better and better every match. Whoever we lose, I'm very sad to see.
And not only that, right? ZETA has gotten a break now, and MIBR and Zipto are the teams coming right off from a loss, right? Like the other two teams already making their runs through the lower bracket have already dealt with losing and also with winning, and actually seeing that dream becoming closer and closer. So we'll see. The first feels, I think, are going to be very important for today.
I definitely want to break that down more. There's so much to talk about. It's specifically what you guys are mentioning with ZETA Division's performance, especially throughout the lower bracket. But we also want to know what you guys at home and over in the stadium, what you think of today's matches. Who's gonna make it through the lower bracket in today's Mastercard fan poll? So scan the QR code, it's gonna be on the screen to cast your vote, and then we'll show the results in a bit because we like to, we want to know what everyone thinks.
We don't want to get that. They wait for us to do our predictions.
Yes.
So then when you guys tell us the actual answers, we go, too late to change.
Yeah, exactly. And we're always wrong. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Who predicted both the EMEA teams to win the lower bracket last time? What a fool.
Pansy did mention it. Talent predictions are worthless, but we do it. And remember, use the hashtag VCT Game Changers if any of you guys are posting on Twitter or X so that we can show it on the screen. Now, after Game Changers Championships ends, many of our Game Changers will be heading to Los Angeles for another event. Guys, if you've heard about the Spotlight Series, if you haven't yet, have a look at this because Americas is going to have one of their own.
Moose is going to stick this one.
There's that drop. Oh my God, Moose! Towards the front. Alexis trying to do everything on her own.
Grabbing himself a weapon out. A series of something around just right above it. Free the lead. A phenomenal round.
Oh my, 4 kills for Mimi. Mimi with the ace.
A vantagem aumenta. E agora só dai que sai Yuri!
But opening first is MIBR. Coconut is just way too fast.
Buena por parte de Com que saca la doble.
It's Oxy again. Oh my God!
And welcome back, and we have an addition here at the desk with us. You guys may know this lady. It rhymes. I was going to say smells like egg.
So many people.
Wow.
It smells amazing.
She smells amazing.
Thank you.
This is Meg from Fnatic. I was going to say it rhymes with egg.
Thank you.
It's
But
the boyfriend who smells like egg.
It's
Yes.
the boyfriend that smells like egg. I
Exactly.
smell beautiful.
Yes, you smell fantastic. I'm very happy to have you here. So how have you been enjoying the game so far?
Yeah, I've been loving it. I mean, honestly, Game Changers is my favorite event of the year. There's just like a vibe in the air.
Yeah.
Like you can't explain it. You have to be here in the arena. Well, I suppose you guys feel it at home as well, but it's just, yeah, it's magical.
It is so. We always talk about this. Game Changers is one of our favorite events to be at. The energy is just totally different. Now, speaking of energy, we saw ZETA Division just completely come out of their shell and show a lot of their personalities, who they are. They had some crazy walkouts, and today you are going to help us choreograph or lead us through how we can be our own ZETA Division walkout. So
I mean, I'm known for my dance moves, right?
Yeah.
That's a total
Same. And my style.
No.
But yeah,
I always dress to impress.
I have been waiting for this moment, Tom, to literally criticize your every move. So make sure you get it right, otherwise I will.
So nothing has changed.
You should join the talent team if you want to.
I'm ready. I'm here and I'm ready.
All right. Shall we? Do you want to explain first, or shall we roll the clip first?
I think just roll the
Let's
clip.
roll the clip.
Let's get into it.
Let's see what we are going to be
Oh, when was
like,
the last time I
vibing.
was in school?
Yeah. So this is one of the walkouts very recently by ZETA Division. They had a couple, mimicking some of the Asian moves as they're coming out. I have no idea what you're gonna make us do, Mick, but show us the way.
Are we trying
Show
to
us
mimic their
the
aura?
ZETA
Because
aura.
I don't know if I can
No,
do
I
that,
can't
Meg.
achieve
I was
that.
gonna
I
say,
can't. I
I'm
will
not
tell you
gonna
now,
put
I
that
can't.
on you. Yeah, I mean, ZETA definitely have a certain aura that I feel like you might not be able to mimic. Not saying you're not cool,
Yeah.
because you're really
Am I the
cool.
right
I
person for this
accept, but
segment?
we're not ZETA.
Like, not to be rude, but I'm really interested
love
to
it,
see where this goes.
Oh, okay.
But I actually wanted to throw this one to you, Victoria,
Oh,
because I
okay.
feel like it would. I mean,
Yeah.
let's go
Start
with the
high.
main host first, the boss.
Okay.
So I just want to kind of mimic. I
Bars
think
coming now.
I'm not sure who does it. It's the third person that walks out, and essentially we're going to be throwing a raised grenade of sorts. But I want it with some swag. I'm bringing swag back, by the way. We need to hear more swag on the broadcast.
Sure. Why not?
I like it.
14 years ago.
I'm not even good at throwing
I'm
nades
bringing
in
it back,
game.
baby.
know how I'm gonna
But
do this.
I feel like
Yeah.
you would maybe like a
Numbers
hand
and
on the hip or
swag go
something,
hand in
Victoria.
hand.
But
Okay.
I just want you to throw the grenade.
With a
Kinda
hand
like-
on the hip.
Yeah, I want you to put some swag, some energy into it, the same way ZETA put their whole into it.
You need some
Okay.
aura, basically.
I am not
Okay.
ZETA cool. I am not as cool as ZETA, but we're gonna do this.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, I think
Perfect. Honestly,
double it up.
sensational, amazing.
I think-
could do no wrong.
Honestly,
I needed
I
her
think-
to be bad.
I think you need to do it. Actually, I think that's what we need, Tom.
Oh no.
That,
You
Stop
forgot
right
to
now.
walk.
Thank you
I know it's very
much.
different.
You gotta do the walk, the 1, 2, 3
Alright.
walk.
Never. Can we?
Over the shoulder. You got it over the
No.
shoulder name.
Huh?
I am so disappointed in you. I thought you
Are
would
you
be.
really?
No, I knew it was going to be awful. Oh, off he goes.
It's okay,
He's
Tom.
back.
You can come
We
back.
need like the really tiny violin. But anyway, let's head into the next one because I'm going to throw this one to Kakuka.
Oh,
so pay
okay.
attention.
thank God.
I'm so nervous.
It'll.
Eventually.
I'm a little. I'm nervous for you too.
I got very
so-
good grades in school.
Yeah.
Oh, Akko doing the so just a 100
My
theory?
energy level.
I mean,
Tom, you don't get to decide.
I feel like Kakuka, you gave this a really good reference earlier because sometimes the more casual and nonchalant you are with it, you show that you're the master. Do you know what I mean? The master of this
I look
pose.
like
Look at this.
Katniss every day.
You do.
I'm saying that about myself. That looks weird, but
She's volunteered, everybody.
I volunteer. I do not have the aura that Akko has, and also she's just better at it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is also as well after
I've been
she's
the
hit
arch
an
and I've been
insane
the
clip.
prey as well.
But I think, again, I will never fault Kakuka. Like, you are perfect
Right.
in every
Cool.
in every way. And she absolutely slayed Boots
I'm
the house
seeing a
down.
theme here.
Tom, show us yours. You can,
Yeah, why didn't you
Yours
recreate
first.
that, Tom?
Yeah.
No, come on, you
No.
can do
Like a
better than that.
slingshot?
Look at the camera.
But
Look at
that's
the
how
camera.
she did it. Like,
No, no, no.
Giant
not, it's
slingshot.
not.
Yeah, but you're okay.
That's truly horrendous.
oh, wow.
Well, Tom, I'm going to put the pressure all on you now because
As if you weren't
this
already.
is your moment.
There we go.
Don't mess
Great.
it up. Here we go. Are you watching? Get geared up. Get ready.
Oh, you stretch it. Oh yeah. The.
I'm not
The
sure
hip
it's going to help
flexor
much.
stretch.
I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I know what this is going to be. Oh, yeah, I think Tom's gonna be great at this.
Okay, I'm watching.
So for the experts at home, this is what we call pose 28. It's actually a really difficult pose to master, which is why we've given it to Tom, as
Yeah.
he is the most professional in the room. I'm waffling. Here we
Ready.
go.
Wow, on the
You should have
tippy
dyed your
toes.
hair blue as well. Oh, never mind.
yeah.
Do it again.
Yeah, like the.
Just for. It really goes up on.
Is
his
it that
toes.
difficult being on your...
I'm speechless.
I
I
can- I
have
can-
no words really for this, and that's not in a good way. I'm not.
Show me how it's done.
Okay,
Show me
so
how it's done.
you've really gotta cross the arms straight
Okay,
on the chest,
right.
really strong, and then you're just gonna give it a.
Oh, there's more energy.
Yeah, just a bit of.
More energy.
energy.
More
More
passion.
passion.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see where
Yeah.
I was going wrong.
It's just I feel like you're not giving powerful kind of stance.
I
You
agree.
look-
I don't think I'm giving
It's a
powerful
nice look.
stance.
So what
either.
grade does he get?
I'm gonna give you an F.
Okay. That could have been worse.
Yeah,
Some of my exams I got worse than that, so you know, I'll take an F.
yeah.
Well, those
Yeah,
of you
you,
watching,
ungradable.
you can give your votes in the chat there. Thank you so much, Meg, for
very
the
welcome.
tutorial. I think we honestly all failed, but thank you. You're so kind to
I
all
think I
of us.
did okay.
But we want to check in with ZETA Serena and see what she had to say to Mika Fabs ahead of today's match.
Stand standing here with me right now is Serena from ZETA, and we have Kohei to help with some translation. Now, Serena, if Suzu is neon, like this, and Ako is Falcon Punch, what is Serena's pose or iconic line?
セレナ選手、鈴選手がネオンで、アコ選手がファルコンパンチ、セレナ選手のポーズは何でしょう？
昨日ポーズをちょっと探してみたけど、T1 のロールを T1 の小林選手はシグニスポーズを取ります。
So it's gonna be the Gumayushi pose from T1 in League of Legends?
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Serena, and good luck to you. Bang!
Honestly,
And she did it again. Perfect timing.
I thought it would have been the Cypher hat throw, give me a corpse, because that was incredible. Now, ZETA is the surprise team of the tournament. Give me a corpse. And players like Serena have helped make this miracle run possible. How insane was all her Sentinel plays throughout the last two matches at these?
How much time have you got?
On this map, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because the other day we were talking about not only how she was performing very well on the server, it's the fact that she stayed. She wanted to work on her individual performance, staying on the stage and just taking a moment for herself. And we saw the change from one map to another. She unleashed the beast and got ZETA the victory.
Yeah, I was super impressed, especially with her Haven clips. Like the trips that she had, you could see that Falcons were really struggling. Like they never were clearing them, and she was just able to run absolute riot. Like super impressive performance from her individually. And when we started this tournament, my worry was always firepower, like how they're going to be able to achieve things. But I'm gonna steal this away from you. I know you want to. I've got some clips to show.
Okay.
And I want to go straight into
There's
them.
so many.
I think that there's
now.
a couple of clips that I sort of really enjoyed about this team, and it shows the difference. Now, these clips are going to be just 2 rounds apart, and we're going to kick things off with them playing full retake on the A site of Haven. Now, as a sort of classic retake goes, you're going to have your aftershock, your stuns, you're going to have your paranoia coming across, but they also throw in a couple of other elements. One of those is obviously the default smokes, but then you have this neon wall, and it basically just means that I believe it's Mary underneath just gets completely isolated as they drop down. Something that a lot of teams struggle with is jumping out of that window. They play the retake, work together, and eventually win themselves the round. Now, this was more of a classic full retake. We're giving up everything. The next round is lunacy. Like, this is where they pull out something I don't know if you'll ever have seen before, and it kicks off with just getting a little bit of information. The second they find out there's going to be a hit outside, the paranoia's through, they go straight in with the Hunter's Fury, and they force them all the way back into their own spawn. A ludicrous amount of tags being connected as well, but then you see the star of the show, Suzu, running it all the way down. It starts to go a little bit haywire, and she just wins out the round individually, clutching out. I know Pansy lost her mind in this moment, but these are the two sort of complete opposite sides of this team, and it's a reason they're a favorite to watch.
It is impossible that you do not enjoy watching ZETA, because in that Haven, we're talking about Falcons, but here in EMEA, having that double duelist in Magby and Mary, it is something that most of the teams have struggled so much with, and they decided to not even give them the chance to just have this kind of rounds and put themselves on top. We see the confidence, and it's very funny to see them celebrate like that, but it's actually the way in which they achieve those things.
It's such a big turnaround. It's like a complete 180 since day one of their match here. And then having performance like that, Serena getting, her trips are there to kill. They're not for info. She is there for the kill, and she predicts every single one, and their team play has been fantastic. Now, following the win over the Falcons Vega match you just mentioned, Kukuka, we did speak to Suzu about ZETA's turnaround in this OMEN player moment.
ファルコンズ戦に向けては緊張は全くありませんでした。日本のチームって結構舐められてると思うんで、そのチームには絶対に負けられないっていう結構デカめのプレッシャーがあると思ってます。本当に今は自分だけの力じゃなくてチームの力が本当に上がっているので、自分だけじゃなくみんな強く、みんなそのチーム力っていうものがすごい上がってるんだと思います。めちゃくちゃパワーをもらえてるみたいな感じはすごい自分個人的には感じるので、多分メンバーも感じてるとは思いますけど、多分そのおかげで快進撃を続けてるのもあると思います。正直ここまで来れると思ってませんでしたね。 なんかこのままどこまででもいけちゃいそうな気持ちではあります。
This is outrageous! ZETA, you're in their spawns! Get out of here! Falcons fight! No! The disrespect! And oh my god, Suzu! Lighting them on fire!
そうですね、家族が毎回 LINE とかで母がずっと丁寧に一戦ずつ取るんやでっていうようなことを毎回言ってきてます。その応援してくれてるっていうなんか気持ちが嬉しいんで、いつも応援してくださってる皆さん、本当にありがとうございます。次も我々の快進撃を見せていきたいと思ってますので、続けて応援よろしくお願いします。
So good, we had to see it twice. But let's move on to ZETA's opponent today, MIBR. These are the heroes of Brazil, and they are looking to repeat Team Liquid's run last year and make it to the grand final. Guys, this is an incredible win, I think, for MIBR being this, the sole team to represent Brazil. And they've been performing really well. Really a shame that they're here in the lower bracket.
Yeah, I mean, things are not going to get any easier for them. Yesterday, we were talking about probably being the bigger test going up against the G2 Ghost, and they get stronger each round that you play against them. And yesterday, they weren't able to be on top, but as we're seeing regionally, they surprised a lot of people lifting that trophy.
Yeah, I think the story coming into this tournament was that, oh, they're the team that beat Liquid, and now we're looking at them as they're the team that are competing for a title. Like, the fact that they were so close versus G2, they've dominated some of their earlier games, and like, the full squad looks like to really be hitting a high form. I'd say going into today, they're definitely the favorites.
We'll talk more about that, Tom. In fact, let's first send this back to Mika Fabs and check in with MIBR's Jelly.
Oh, we are so ready for this Jelly. We have Jelly from MIBR with me right now. Now, Jelly, that was a tough loss to G2 yesterday, especially since, you guys started off really well, right? I'm wondering how that's affected the team's confidence, especially since now you're in lower bracket and potentially facing elimination.
First of all, hello. I think that match on G2 was a very good, it was a good match to lose, as bad as that sounds, because it taught us about our mistakes we were making in game, especially we went into second map very confident. It didn't work out very well, and then third map was just a roller coaster. So it taught us a lot about ourselves and our team. We're really confident on this lower brackets run. We're gonna destroy everyone, and we absolutely feel that. I don't think our confidence has gotten affected at all. I think that's the main point of our team. Everyone is very confident in themselves. The team itself is confident in everyone. So it's just going to be, I guess, another day in the job. So it's going to be really fun. Lower brackets run, it is.
Well, we can feel the confidence as well. So best of luck to you.
I love Jelly. Jelly's such a sweet player here, but I love her confidence going to this. Despite the losses, despite dropping those 2 maps, that's not going to stop her. In fact, I think a large part of this, you could see her resilience throughout those 2 maps, trying to push forward and trying to, bring it back in their favor in this game against G2.
The funny thing is going into the first day we were doing all the pre-tapes, I spoke to Jelly, and she was basically saying like, oh, I think we'll have close games, and Sayuri was the one going, we're going to dominate everybody. So the fact that Jelly's now at that point as well, I think this team, and especially the duo of Jelly and SRM, are terrifying.
I think that there are maps, like, to me, is so surprising, the way that they were playing on Pearl, the way that Jelly has been behaving inside and outside of the server. Like, that interview, she's so well-spoken. She also has the awareness, and she's not ashamed of just saying, yep, this was a loss. It is good for us. We're going to take the positives out of this. They still have their head in the game. There are so many instances that we have seen teams coming into the lower bracket already looking defeated, and she's not. She's ready to stay here. She's ready to lift a trophy.
Yeah, that confidence is, as a Pacificer, has me a little worried for ZETA Division, but both these teams, I think, look more confident than ever. So we're gonna go in the mental game, where they are in terms of their confidence. I think they're both here for that. They're here for the fun. Now, unlike many teams in Berlin, MIBR is not running a neon. That's a little bit unusual, Kukuka. In fact, you actually went to the press conference because you had to ask about it.
Yeah, exactly. We have it very close to here, so I just went because I wanted to ask their opinion on it. So I just went straight to SRN and I was like, hey, most of the teams here play a lot of neon. It's an agent. That is no surprise. It's very OP and so many teams are taking advantage of it. Why are you guys not using it? Is it something that has to do with you specifically? And they told me that it was basically that Jet and Race was somewhere where they felt more comfortable, and that neon did not really fit the team's style, right? And of course, it's something that they have to think about, because it's not only that it fits you, it's something that you're going to be seeing constantly on the other side that you're not taking advantage of. So right now, I'm also looking at her specifically to think of how she's going to deal with that disadvantage.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, though, from my perspective, is I would much rather a team do this. Like, there might be an overpowered agent in the meta, but if you look at it and go, okay, that doesn't fit our style, we can be a niche, we can do things a different way. If that's something you're comfortable with, I think that's way more important than going, okay, we're going to push ourselves out of our comfort zone to play something we don't like because everyone else is doing it. And I think for them, that has been fantastic. Like, SRN, at no point in this tournament have I gone, oh, yeah, SRN would be better playing Neon. I'm going, what was that? What was that push? Oh, 2 with the showstopper. Like, every single time. That's another thing. The showstopper with SRN lands every time. Every single time. Even if the person is flying through the air, somehow SRN will land it. So why would you even want a Neon?
Yeah, 2 schools of thought, but that's a fantastic point, Tom, and obviously that's worked very much in this team's favor. Now, we did ask you guys earlier who you thought was going to win today, so let's pull up the results of our Mastercard and poll.
They're the
here.
fan favorites.
Yeah,
What time did the poll go out?
It doesn't matter. Guys, I don't know if you
Might be the popular
remember,
vote.
just think about 2022 when it was in Reykjavik. We were talking about it in the green room earlier, and how ZETA went on that massive run, and everybody was cheering for them because
I'm with
they
the
have it. They have the
9.6%.
aura.
I'm with the 9.6%.
Who voted for it? Who was the name?
9.6 was MIBR. 9.4 was Crew, so they were very close.
well,
Pacific is winning.
is your vote for Pacific?
I would like to give 1 and 1 because I would be very sad if both of the, because there is a reality of both, there could be a reality of both Pacific teams going home today. I wouldn't want that to happen, and I hate elimination, so I'm taking a rain check here.
All right, well, in fact, after this, we're going to pull up what all the talents make of today's predictions. So let's throw that up on the screen here.
I can remember what I said because
Oh,
I knew it was going to upset Victoria.
It's okay, I might fight.
You went with South
Uber,
America?
Of
Yes,
course, of course.
Thomas.
Some of these are a bit surprising to me. Even Uber has gone with like full Pacific teams today. I know.
I honestly think that this is just a it literally explains the reality. We're pretty much 50-50 because I think anybody could take today's games. For ZETA, they're on the run, they're on the go. They feel, and Zuzu said it in that PMI, that they feel that they can win everything. They see themselves. They've already seen them in the bad and in the good, already in the winning moments. So why not? And for Shipto was playing amazingly yesterday throughout the tournament, specifically in Pacific. I think literally anyone can win today.
Once they play at their absolute best, which we have seen glimpses of from all 4 of these teams, it's so hard to predict because they're just so darn good. We did. We'll talk about Zipto later. I did see a slower start, but with ZETA Division, as long as they're feeling confident, as long as they got that practice in, over the last couple of days, I'm gonna lean towards ZETA, but I will absolutely not be surprised if it's MIBR. I think it's gonna be a 3 mapper. Tom's giving me this like eyebrows right now. It's like, well, that's what you think.
Is the only hair he has to work with.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
if Jelly is right and they literally have taken this one night that they had to prepare for this, if they have already spotted their mistakes and actually yesterday was a learning experience, that's what they have to take it as if they want to see themselves as the champions for 2024.
I actually wonder at this point if ZETA is still going on about being surprised about winning, because after the last 2 matches, like, oh, I didn't think we'd win that. I wonder what they're thinking now, actually, and how they're going to be approaching this particular map. Have you guys managed to say hello to any of the players?
That would be so funny with, like, MIBR coming in basically saying, we're going to win, we're going to smash everyone, and then ZETA on the other side going, we don't know.
We don't know, but they will have the best walkout.
I'm gonna have a great time.
I cannot wait, because even if ZETA are to lose today and they're eliminated, they will do so in style.
Yeah, you know what? I completely agree with that for both of these teams. In fact, probably the most stylish teams we got here. Now, today, guys, this is elimination day. We got our top 4, and it's time to find out which of these teams will make the cut. This is day 6 of Game Changers Championship 2024. Guys, I'm so sad to send one of these teams home, but I'm excited for these games. The championships start right now.
MIBR are down to 3. SRN is down, and it's crippling there for MIBR. That was just complete annihilation.
Eu acho que nesse campeonato, a coisa que eu mais aprendi é que a gente sempre tem que estar junta, independente, tipo, de estar dentro do servidor ou fora do servidor.
正直ここまで来れると思ってませんでしたね。なんかこのままどこまででもいけちゃいそうな気持ちではあります。今のゼータ GC には、自分だけの力ではなくみんなもパワーアップしてチーム力も断然上がってると思います。
Eu não vi muito a ZETA jogar, sinceramente, mas o pouco que eu vi, isso me surpreendeu. Eu acho que a gente vai conseguir demonstrar um jogo muito superior do que a gente mostrou contra a G2.
MBR の中で一番強いと思う選手は SRN です。めっちゃ警戒はしてます。
Eu acho que a player que mais me surpreendeu foi a Suzu e, sinceramente, acho que eu quero enfrentar ela mesmo. E eu acho que a gente vai dar um 2-0 seco.
こっちはメイドインブラジルかもしれへんけど、こっちはメイドインパシフィックで、もうめっちゃやったるで。
En 2022 solamente logramos ganar un equipo y nos fuimos del torneo, literalmente. El año pasado fue lo mismo y ya dimos un gran paso.
Visa crew plays, advance and eliminate giants.
Quisiera que fueran más grandes los pasos para sentir que ha valido la pena el esfuerzo, pero pequeños pasos siguen siendo enormemente importantes. Y ya con esta victoria siento que yo individualmente puedo ganar a cualquiera.
Going to the lower brackets, I'm not scared of going home because my team is so good. I'm just going to focus on going forward.
Siento que siento como equipo se aflojan un poco y esa va a ser la diferencia que hagamos nosotras. Vamos a destrozarlas y vamos con todo.
Crew, their duelist is really scary.
That's a 4, that's on for the ace.
But I think my Neon can do better.
They just keep going and airy.
We've been grinding so hard this year. We're going to crawl back from lower brackets. Crew, watch out for the resurrection of Sipto.
Today, the Japanese juggernaut clashes with the force from Brazil. Both ZETA and MIBR have captivated audiences with their playstyles and infectious personalities. Now with their tournament hopes on the line, they're going to battle it out in this high-stakes showdown that promises fireworks. And Kakuka, with these map drafts coming through, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah, no surprises on the ZETA side banning that Pearl. I'm a bit surprised. I was kind of hopeful that we would see that Abyss. I think it would be a good pick to maybe draw a surprise, maybe have some SRN on the Yoru. But ZETA's going to go with the same pick they've been having into the times here. No surprises on that side, Tom. What do you make of it?
I kind of expected Ascent to be floated till the end. I thought that would be the third map because both teams really like to play it, so I feel like giving that over as like your choice definitely has its risks about it, but the same could be said for Sunset. It was a solid map in the initial matchup for the side of MIBR, but then they got blasted out yesterday, so clearly they feel like they fixed whatever issues there were and happy to take that as a second map.
Exactly, because if you think about the weaknesses that probably we saw yesterday in Sunset, knowing that you're going to most likely go up against a Neon that is very well prepared, knowing that they only managed to get, what, 4 rounds, and 2 of them were like pistols from the second half, it's definitely a very bold pick for MIBR and probably some changes inside the server that we're going to see.
Yeah, I'm also super excited for that first map though, because I think you immediately get that jet battle of Suzu and SRN. I think it's going to set the tone for the series, because for ZETA, I think it is still a pretty important thing to get off to a good start, because they've had slower starts in some of their series and had to come back, and I want to see them firing on all cylinders here.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic point. Exactly. Starting with Ascent, it's gonna dictate a lot of how things might swing. I mean, my eyes are honestly going to players like Moko. I think that her, and we were talking also about Serena, like their abilities to lock down sides, their defenses have been on a different level, a completely flawless 9-0 in that defense. I'm a little bit more scared about this attack for ZETA the Bistron going on their map pick. Well, I'm very excited for this very first matchup of day 6. We got our casters, Wyatt and Uber. Tell us who's staying in today.
Thank you very much. This is quite the matchup. Of course, a very jilted MIBR falling to the lower bracket after a tough heading against G2. Whereas ZETA Division have already made themselves comfortable here. They've already sent 2 teams home. And these teams, no slouches. FlyQuest, Falcons, both vanquished at the hands of this upstart squad from Japan. And in the words of Suzu, they feel like they could go all the way.
Yeah, she said they didn't even think they were going to make it this far, so why not go all the way? And they're making a believer out of me the way that they've been playing. We had expectations going into this as to how good they would be tactically. They displayed that in their regional qualifier, but what we did not expect was the lethal firepower that they've had on display in this fiery lower bracket run that they've been on. But against MIBR, another team full of shooters. Will they maybe finally meet their match here?
I think a lot of emphasis is going to be on the Jet on this map. In ZETA's last game against Falcons, Suzu was the lowest rated player by a decent margin. They definitely need to get their shooters online. Do ZETA already a little bit of action here through mid. The frenzy's starting to ring out, but Jelly's found a quick double. Dark cover thrown down. It's going to be swung through, but ZETA are not ready for that. Little pop from MIBR. That's all down to UR, who has spent most of this fight towards the B side.
Going to be tough to make anything happen here. Look at the position of the spike. Dark cover going to fade, and actually Security offering up a potential opening, not going to come. Aggression from MIBR, and frankly, 1 round in, a taste of ZETA's own medicine delivered straight to them. That's how they began this lower bracket run, with a pistol round like that against FlyQuest out of nowhere. That instant aggression. This time, the victims of it.
And I kind of love that, right? It's just a 1-2-3 swing through the smoke. You know, midway through the pistol round. And at this point, ZETA are looking towards Catwalk. They're looking elsewhere. They're not ready for that swing through the smoke at all.
Full classic save for ZETA. Fortunate they're doing so. SRN with the Outlaw on defense. Always big to get the economy rolling when you're on the defending side of Ascent. You want to get that operator into the hands of your Jet as soon as you can. It is a dominant weapon on this map. That, and of course the Odin as well, when you get that to yourself towards the B side to lock down main.
Catwalk and top mid smoked off. So ZETA already making a lot of noise towards mid and already using both their smokes here. Allow Zuzu to push up, but yep, SRM with an Outlaw. It's going to be an easy pick off any day of the week. Good timing off this shock here. Melissa playing off the contact of the turret. All of ZETA are able to back away in time.
And this should be easy enough for MIBR to clean up from here. I do have a question heading into this as well, Mitch. We haven't seen ZETA in a couple days now. They were white hot. You could feel that momentum flowing in them. And I wonder if that's been stifled a little bit from not actually playing any games since, what was that, 3 days ago? A couple days ago now, right? So we'll see if they can carry that over, because they're going to have to match MIBR in the firepower game. That is what has propelled them to qualifying for this event. And beating a couple, or rather beating Giants so far, pushing G2 to the limit.
This seems pretty straightforward. Duar's taken 2 shock darts, about 40 seconds apart. And she has no choice but to walk up into the line of sight of SRN. Sees Moko alone here, and a very drawn out full save round from ZETA. Goes off without a hitch.
All too easy. Again, ZETA buying all those classics so they can get the full armors. Won't be in danger of getting one-shotted by the outlaw that SRN has here on defense on the important buy round. This is a real opportunity for MIBR to take a strong early lead, not just in the rounds, but economically, if they can convert this bonus.
Still a judge floating around on the MIBR side. That was in Sayori's hands earlier on. Zhubish has picked that one up, playing in towards mid. There's no early warning system for MIBR, and mid might be a fast hit. Oh my goodness, what are MIBR going for? SRN with the outlaw pushing up against ZETA, and it all goes wrong for the Brazilian side. Now Susie wants to push ahead of this fragment, but she is very low as a result.
Yeah, awkward because she was hit by that 0 point, couldn't actually dash past it, but nevertheless, the rest of the team are able to scale off of the presence that she has in the site. Drone is nice as well, and some damage through. That's not even the tagged up player. Zhubish low on HP, Jelly as well.
Revealing area.
Mercy is going to light the side, Jelly fine. Oh my, that's 2 through the smoke. Suzu here, over towards Hell. Zhubish low, Moko's able to help out from A-Main. Serena's also going to be there. There's an extra layer here for ZETA Division as Melissa has to step up and challenge. No, Suzu is in Hell, gets rid of her. Now it's up to Serena. Melissa has to go up and get this a tap. Serena doesn't have any util to work with now. It's a matter of keeping her off the spike. And Melissa brings her down. What a recovery for MIBR, who lose 2 players off the rip.
That is not just unlikely, should simply not be happening. What on earth are those shots from the Guardian? They had offered up 2 kills on a silver platter at MIBR. Whatever that early round little play they were going for was, did not go as intended. Very haphazard was the flash with a teleport, but this is just insane from Jelly. This is exactly how things began for them against G2 yesterday over on Bind. Always the duo of Jelly and SRN pulling out magic from nowhere.
Literally in that case, it's Jelly just finding Guardian kills in the middle of that dark cover. Defies belief. Suzu a little bit tagged up here by the Odin. She gets through, but the rest of ZETA Division have to watch themselves. Suzu tries to get forward, play aggressively early here, but MIBR should have this one locked down. Someone from ZETA always seems to extract an unlikely Sheriff kill. But they're down to 3. 2 Sheriffs and a Bucky.
You're damn right about that. They do, not just MIBR, any team going up against ZETA really has to respect them on those anti-eco rounds where they pick up the Sheriffs. With the form that they've been in as well, they've converted a lot of eco rounds over those past couple lower bracket games we've seen them win. They're trying to sprint over to the A site, which remains vacant, at least for now. Oko will have a dark cover. Maybe we'll put that over at the switch where Sayuri is going to be on the line. Paranoia will cause some delay. The teleport is a good way to create space into the site, but that Bucky not going to be good at this range.
Sayuri, though, in a perfect spot for this. And MIBR end up just filtering straight in. Didn't have great weapons to work with anyway, but ZETA have an issue. They really don't do much to put a cap on this MIBR economy that is starting to spiral a little bit now. Operator and Odin maintained from the prior round for the Brazilian side.
A tough decision there for Moko as to where to use the dark cover. Do you try to cover switch, heaven, or do you use it in a way like that to teleport in? There's really no good answer in a situation like this with no weaponry. 3 versus 5. Handled pretty much with ease by MIBR, who now have a null command in the hands of Jelly due to all of those prior kills on the bonus round. And with this string of round wins, the economy is in a place where SRN has the op here on round 5.
Tailwind is expired here though. SRN hoping to find something on the extremity. This is ZETA's second full buy round of the game. And then this time trying to be a little bit more careful with it. Jelly, she has early warning here. This could be pretty devastating. Fragment did get deployed, and that leaves Suzu a little stranded right now. And they peer into tree.
Spike down mid.
And Zeta fall like dominoes.
The flash was just too good there from Sayuri. The paranoia connected onto everyone. No one from Cat could swing. Due to the molly on the ground, the jelly had thrown either. 9 for 2 already. I am just simply getting flashbacks to their match yesterday. Jelly just took over straight away in that series.
Serena wants to ask for more, but there's an operator on the site. Pretty inadvisable to challenge that. Pinged out now is Serena. The operator's actually sat in mid watching catwalk, so Serena swings it, could die. Goes very, very low, but SRA not actually able to connect that shot. Still very awkward and still just a matter of time. And that's 2 full buy rounds for Zeta that have really not eventuated.
It is just disastrous so far. Still thinking back to the round, listen, cannot be mad at a timeout here from Coach Ryota. Things have gotten out of hand fast for Zeta. They need to stabilize here. If not to just slow the momentum for a moment for MIBR as they are fully flowing. Calm things down for a second, take a breath, and this is the exact kind of moment that Ryota is going to call a timeout for this squad. If you look at the state of the economy and the ultimates, he is always going to give them some kind of eco round strat and then have a follow-up strat for the round where they've got the ultimates and the full buy. We've seen out of Coach Ryota's timeouts a conversion on just the eco round strat, and then they're able to go for the main idea that they're calling in the timeout with the full buy and the ults the next round. So we'll have to see what he's cooking up. Has definitely been critical to the success of this team. Has had noticeable impact out of timeouts throughout this lower bracket run.
And for all appearances, a real stabilizing effect as well. So they've been impactful timeouts, but here, Zeta Division have really struggled to even get into the game. They're trying to get into tree, all flashed out, 3 of them get brought down, trying to make their way through B or through mid. They seem to get cut off very quickly. MIBR are fighting ahead of these sites. They're not choosing to anchor from within them, but instead disrupt Zeta on the way. There's a lot of stingers here for Zeta. They have a lockdown as well because of that Killjoy.
Had to hazard a guess, they may be going fast with the 5 stingers.
Might be right. A lot of your scan util through mid. This is dangerous. Yep, SRN. Not quite quick enough to find the shot on the emergence from the smoker now. Exposes herself to the turret a little bit longer. Eventually, she has to give it up. No shot to be had.
It seemed like Zeta had some intention of trying to pressure towards mid, but have just fully given up on that, slowing things down in the mid round. If they head towards A, they're going to have to contend with all of that Killjoy utility just littered across main.
Even an orb here for Arco won't get her to that null command. Even if the radius would encapsulate the enemy Killjoy and turn off the
Get out of my way!
A dark cover just got thrown actually from Moko over towards switch on A, so continuing to feign some presence there. Akko remaining towards A as well. Again, presence, making noise, triggering the turret. Yeah, just selling that presence. And look at the defensive rotations from MIBR there. Going through spawn, but SRN still finds that first. Will be able to back off, pick up a more passive angle.
That might unravel things here. Suzu just trying to manufacture something with the Blade Storm, but Zhubish, not one to be caught off guard by that. Another dark cover here, and SRN with the timing. Moko found through the smoke.
Spike down.
This has not panned out well at all for Zeta Division. Looking to give up the 6th round to MIBR on defense.
10 seconds left.
And this Stinger buy just doesn't cut it.
It seems like their initial plan maybe towards mid got stifled, and they wanted to do, I mean, a perfectly fine switch up, which was, yeah, that pivot towards making noise on A. Akko hanging around there. They threw a smoke that way and then intended on, you know, grouping up close B, exploding into the site with the Stingers, but it all just goes awry when SRN is able to find a kill as well on that tight angle in main. But here we go, Serena has the lockdown. MIBR still a clean 6-0, not a round lost. This Odin could be frustrating to deal with here. The Japanese side trying to get into main.
Okay, Melissa pinged out there briefly. Flash might be a faster hit for Zeta. They've got to make this gun round work. It's their 3rd full buy of the half. It's time to get on the board. Suzu over towards spawn side here. She has to know that rotates here will be pressuring, and she's not able to win the first fight against Sayori. That is devastating. Another first death for Zeta Division Stallers, but UR at least is able to manufacture something over at A.
And here we are. What a cool round out of the timeout again. That deep pop flash, it didn't exactly work out, but the rest of Zeta just working their way towards A. Look at how far Serena is able to get up because of the pressure on B. What a cool round so far, but they have to close it out. They failed to do this before because the MIBR players are just so ferocious with the gunplay. This has to be clean from Zeta. They need to convert this right now.
Command getting thrown down here by side of MIBR. You are sitting well back here with the Hunter's Fury set up for the post-fight. It should be a Zeta Division round. No reason for MIBR to take this. They're going to push out. They're going to have to go aggressively. We know this. Flash here for Jelly available. A second to swing off of, and in we go. Hunter's Fury actually getting thrown out now by Zeta Division just to make sure it's secure. And they get it done.
They didn't get... MIBR were just able to stick. There was some kind of audio cue where they weren't able to hear the tap. I'm not sure how...
I did not see that. With Hunter's Fury coming through, I did not see that.
Neither did they. Neither did they. There was some kind of audio mistiming. They didn't hear the tap onto the spike.
Yeah, it must be with the, again, the double flash coming out. Hunter's Fury is coming in at the time.
They were set up perfectly for that, man. Perfectly. The round worked to a T, but they just missed the audio on the tap.
Right, that got completely past me. I'm not afraid to admit it. That was crazy.
This has been pretty tragic to watch so far for Zeta. They've had a couple more than winnable rounds. Swing rounds, mind you. And they've been lost to that insane Jelly 4-piece, just spamming through smoke, missing the tap on the spike. It hurts. That's a dagger through the heart.
The upside is that Zeta still have, what, 3 or 4 players alive at the end of that round. So they keep the weapons, can still look to try and manufacture something here against MIBR, but you've got to be feeling pretty despondent, I think, after a round like that.
And look at what they've expended in terms of the ultimates there as well. Brutal. They've got to hold their nerve here. Listen, you can absolutely make a comeback happen on Ascent defense. We have seen that a million times over in the history of Valorant, but you're going to need at least a few to play with. If Zeta could just get to 3 and win the pistol, maybe we've got a game, but they've got to step up right now.
Okay, they managed to force SRN off the line!
Oh my god!
But they just hang around and wait for Suzu to updraft. And there's just no second wave here from Zeta. They sit in this dark cover waiting to be brought down. Those were the guns they brought in for the prior round, and another flawless from MIBR, who are so far ahead it's not even funny.
No, Zeta just completely folding over on that site exec. MIBR doing exactly what you need to do in a situation like that, which is just cut off the jet from the rest of the team. They just were not in position to help. Look, nobody even in main there to try and really trade
even with the
as the dark cover phase has. The spacing was just really off there. They tried to force it. That kind of... In this situation, when you're seeing them just trying to get out of the smoke desperately, it is desperate. I feel like you're beginning to see that set in. They are feeling the pressure at this point in the game. They can't let it get to them. They need to get back into that fun mentality that they were thriving in, where the vibes were so good.
They look extremely stiff. They're maybe just not believing in themselves at the moment. Zeri, gives shoulder. Suzu actually doesn't see enough to take the shot. Now, should be forced to play from behind this one way. Zeri, has huge edge here. Zeta pulling it out a middle, but Suzu wants to try and repost on the line. Zeri can refresh this smoke, not a one-way, simply blocking Zeta off here. We're down inside 50 seconds.
That was the point I was just about to make. Already at this junction in the round, Zeta have essentially got no map control. They haven't worked up towards mid. They don't know what's happening towards A. That's where SRN's op lies in wait, still covering main. Hasn't been forced to move off there at all. We're at 30 seconds left. The alarm bot is just going to get cleared now in mid. And maybe with some pressure in B main, it may make MIBR think that there's a split coming towards B. It does force out a lockdown, actually. And now here comes the pressure onto A. It's going to be a pretty fast split, but the duo of Jelly and SRN to deal with 15 seconds on the clock, man.
Gotta be
They've got to go.
So desperate here for Zeta, and there they are. Melissa Jelly's able to find 2 inside tree. They've still got 6 points to work with, and there's no time for reply. The spike is dropped in tree, and Zeta Division in utter shambles.
We are really witnessing the pressure getting to this team right now. The last round really trying to force things to get out of main. Haphazard, no real utility for each other, just walking straight into the crossfires, and on this one, just the clock dwindling far too low to make a real exec happen.
10 seconds left.
We're trying to allow time for Suzu to find a pick with the op, trying something different, going for the attacking operator, but then leaving themselves not enough time to work with at the end.
I feel like they're trying to activate Moko there in A main, but she's not there in time either. There's 9 defensive rounds in a row. MIBR really not being put under any level of pressure.
It has been effortless up until this point for them. And we're getting exactly what we expect from the MIBR team, which is Jelly and SRN locking things down individually, finding crucial kills in crucial moments.
Sayori falls off that line, just throws a smoke. There's a 0 point there from Jelly revealing 2. Elsewhere, MIBR getting a little antsy. We've got shoulder peeks from Zhubish in towards B main, and obviously SRN holding down mid. And there's just so little for Zeta to work with here. They've got a hero rifle for Suzu. No Serena, that's for sure. SRN in an easy position to get out of this spot, and also causing the Vandal to be dropped.
Just no information on where this operator was going to be. The dark cover placed very deep. Zeta wanted to walk up mid, pressure maybe towards that alarm bot again, make it seem like maybe they're going to pivot into something towards B. But SRN was in the perfect position, just playing by pizza, by market to be able to shut that down. And at this point, again, writing's on the wall for this one. It's going to be 10 for MIBR. Zeta needed to rally after this. They need to rally on the next buy run unless Moko somehow makes a miracle happen. Oh my God, found 3 out of thin air. Almost made me eat my words, but this is it. This is the moment. They can't, surely, they cannot make a comeback happen with just 1 round. They need to get these last 2. This buy round has to be converted for them.
Why we spent so much time talking up Zeta's tactical side, I think, is one of their biggest, things to hang their hat on coming into this game. I don't think we've seen that. Yes, we talked about like that firepower that's not there, but also the macro side, Zeta have not been able to pressure MIBR, force any rotations and capitalize on them at all.
It's really the capitalizing that is in the major issue. SRN with the flick just goes wide.
Good swing setup.
0 point goes in towards market, and there's that dark cover for the mid-cross being thrown by Moko. SRN is so fast on the reposition over towards B main. One going to have to be dealt with. Shubish flashed off. Here we go. Zeta actually making some forward progress here. SRN in an awkward position.
One way, though, is forces Suzu to throw a cloud burst just to even up the odds for it. Won't last as long as the dark cover, though. SRN still out there in B main. Clearing some of the KJ util. Serena aware of this. Has a lockdown available as well. As Melissa getting a look at UI. SRN doubles back as well now. Still has to respect a B main push, but that's not happening.
The rest of the Zeta team, they have to start capitalizing off of this presence from the duo
what are we doing
market.
Here?
We're down to 39 seconds. They're playing so passively elsewhere on the map, maybe hoping to catch some kind of rotate coming out elsewhere.
They're leaving.
Yeah, they are backing out of this now. Suzu, time again, getting low, 30 seconds, gathering up. I just don't know where this is going to finish right now. I don't know what. We're going back up towards B, I suppose. UR stayed inserted into market, but Akko caught and SRN never dealt with, needs to go down. Serena finally able to capitalize off that.
They've got
12 seconds left. They've got to get into the site, man.
Juby stuck inside small for the time being, but Sayori is confident as she falls back to Boathouse. Sees Moko, sees Serena. It's all too easy for MIBR. And Zeta, frankly, look headless.
They were really hoping to drag some rotates out, I think, on some of those other extremities to find a pick to play off of, but it was MIBR just standing strong. They were willing to wait. They felt that they were fine with just having these Zeta players trapped in market there. They had both the exit and the entrance covered, and the time just gets too low. There were a couple decent kills for Zeta, but not enough time to actually scale into the site properly.
So much second guessing. Zeta had a decent way into the B side, right? They just had to get Serena through B main. That never happened. Mercy is going to be happy to wait this one out, obviously being lit briefly by the 0 point.
You should run.
There will be some spam to try and keep her at bay. Here is an attack side lockdown. Serena plants it.
And there's nothing for MIBR to actually break this right now. No Hunter's Fury, etc. So Melissa just has to get out of here, trying to shock dart just to deal a bit of damage on entry. Does to you are the spam through on Serena is good.
Smoke blooms there, but still Melissa's able to find one. Jelly tries to get involved again from Market instantly. It's going to be Sayori though again, who picks up where she left off in the previous round. Our drone here spots Arco sat right in the back. She's also going to be pinged out by that. Melissa can think to spam a little bit here with MIBR with a triple flood here through Speedway. This should be enough. SRN drops down, they've lit UR. Great scan util being used here by MIBR. Such a clean execute on this retake, despite being entirely forced off by the lockdown.
MIBR just looked perfect on that half. The shots were connecting in the most crucial times. Specifically, if we just even go back to the 3rd round in, the bonus for MIBR where Jelly took over, they are in great form.
Well, it's 12-0 heading into the half. A perfect game on the line for MIBR. Let's see if they can get it done. The pistol, suffice to say, is going to be very important. See you in a second.
Welcome to Rebel Homeground. 오늘은 2023 챔피언. What is that?
I don't think anybody had this on their bingo card for today. A 12-0 half on Ascent to start the series. MIBR look so dominant. And conversely, ZETA Division wilting more and more round after round, looking uncertain, second-guessing themselves, and frankly, just not seeming like they're in the game.
Not at all. As that half went on, you could see that belief in themselves, the decisiveness that they've had throughout this lower bracket run wilt, as you said. It's just slowly vanished to nothing, and they've got to capture that back right now, because if they don't, this will be the first 13-0 win on a map in the history of Game Changers Championship. You don't really want to have that one on the resume.
Not the kind of record you're aiming for, I think, if you're ZETA Division. It is a 3-map series, of course, but this is a horrible way to start. So, as the old adage goes, they definitely want to win the pistol here, do ZETA.
Always feels stupid to say that.
Yep, but here I finally feel justified in saying it. Suzu down already, SRN loses out to Moko, sat over there towards Spawn. There should be a flood here from MIBR to clear that area, but there's going to be backup for Moko. Still, she goes down. UR from Speedway that was going to be there, and Arco wants to get involved in the fight. We have a straight 3 versus 3 with MIBR set up on this B side. And there is the spike getting put down. Smoke there to follow a Paranoia.
And UR does have a recon to play with at the very least.
0 points is nothing. They know it's a lack of information, but they know where they're going to be coming from, and it's all down to Serena. And there you have it. The first ever 13-0 map in Game Changers Champions history. Thank God I'm not paid by the word.
You really do hate to see that. That is ZETA's map pick. Early on, you could see the rounds where they felt how did we lose this? And it just crumbled them mentally. They need to get that back. I mean, it feels so stupid to say, but they need to get that back before we head into this next game.
Sunset is the last chance for Zeta Division in Game Changers Champions to make some kind of bounce back, but MIBR just look to be far, far superior in every aspect of the game right now, and I really feel like that is not an overstatement. We're going to step away for a moment as Victoria and the analysts come back in to break down map number 1, and we clean up this disaster on the stage.
Baby, I'm playing you tonight. Got this out and see you alive.
It's like animals, just like animals.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Red Bull gives you wings.